Namaste friends, and I welcome you all to this webinar. Namaste friends, I am Dr. Dhanvantri Kumar Jha from Ayurved Shankul Anand, Gujarat. I am both a modern medicine doctor and an Ayurveda doctor as well. On behalf of Ayulink Ayurveda Hospital and Ayulink Webinars, I welcome you all to today's webinar on Netra Ayurveda, Ophthalmology in Ayurveda. I am thankful to Dr. Prerak Shah sir and Ayulink Group for giving me this opportunity. I'd like to share a picture of me with you. As you can see on the screen, this is our Guruji, Dr. NPP Parmeshwaran Nambutri. I'm proud to be one of his students, and he was a stalwart in the field of Shalakya Tantra and especially Netra Chikitsa in Ayurveda at Kothatukulam. This is how we used to learn ophthalmology from Sir, or you can say Shalakya Tantra and Netra Chikitsa from Guruji. This was his traditional hut, which you can see behind him, where they used to proudly pray to Lord Nelliyakattuman Bhagwati. She's a goddess of eyes according to the Kerala tradition of Ayurveda Vaidyas. And today, as we are going to learn about ophthalmology, I thought this was relevant to show you. Now let us know some basics of Ayurveda and move towards our topic, the eyes. Ayurveda, as we all know, is known as the science of life. The oldest manuscript of Ayurveda available at present is the Charak Samhita or the Agnivesh Tantra, which is estimated to be about 5,000 years old. The main three texts of Ayurveda, or what we call as the Brihatrayi of Ayurveda, are the Charak Samhita, the Shushrut Samhita, and the Ashtanga Hriday. These three books cover most of the topics of Ayurveda. One can also find a detailed account of anatomy and physiology of various parts and organs of human body in these texts. To understand the mechanism of our beautiful eyes, we need to first learn about the 5 Mahabhutas and the 3 doshas, that is the 5 basic elements of the nature and 3 doshas or humors of the body. Ayurveda believes that every living and non-living object in this world is made up of a combination of 5 basic elements of the world, namely Akash or ether, Vayu or air, Agni or fire, Jal or water, and Prithvi or earth. As you can see in the image, this is basically about the 5 basic elements of the world. The lightest being Akash, and so it is on the top left of your screens. And then comes Vayu or air, Agni or fire, Jal or aap, and Prithvi or earth. When I say ether or air or fire or water or earth in the context of 5 Mahabhutas, I don't literally mean so. By ether, I mean any hollow space. By air, I mean any movement. By fire, I mean any light or heat. By water, I mean the liquid property of a substance. And by earth, I mean the solid property of a substance. This is why knowing the depth of Sanskrit language when we use the words Akash, Vayu is so important to understand Ayurveda. As I've already said, that everything in this world is made up of these 5 basic elements according to Ayurveda. And so, the parts of the human body and the organs of the human body are also made up of these 5 elements. And it is difficult to point each and every Mahabhuta individually in the body, and thus based on the functions they perform in the body by their various combinations in the body, Ayurveda developed a concept known as the Tridosha theory. According to Ayurveda, there are 3 basic factors which functionally run the human body, and when disturbed, these may cause various diseases. I would share a screen once again. These are the three known doshas or humors of the human body, which are named as Vat, Pitta, and Kapha. The Vat dosh is predominantly consists of air and ether, that is Vayu and Akash. The Pitta dosh is predominantly made up of fire and water, or Agni and Jal, and the Kapha dosha is predominantly made up of the water and earth, or the Jal and Prithvi Mahabhuta. Now, as you know how the doshas work, how these Panch Mahabhutas work, for different sense organs also, according to Ayurveda, we say, because eye is a sense organ, and so we will talk about sense organs as well. When we talk about sense organs, these Panch Mahabhutas also play a very important role. I would again share a screen with you. This basically is about the Panch Mahabhuta and the Panch Tanmatra. The Panch Mahabhuta that you can see on the left are the Akash, Vayu, Agni, Jal, and Prithvi. While the Panch Tanmatra correlated to these Mahabhutas, that is, Akash is predominantly required for the sense of sound. Vayu is required for the sense of touch. Agni is required for the sense of vision. Jal is required for the sense of taste, and Prithvi is required for the sense of smell. So whenever there is a strong smell coming from a substance, you have to understand that it certainly has a predominant Prithvi Mahabhuta. Excuse me. Thus, the Agni Mahabhuta is basically related to our eyes, and it is responsible for the sense of vision. On the other hand, describing about the places of Vat, Pitta, and Kapha, the authorities of Ayurveda have described eyes to be a place of Pitta dosha, or especially the subtype of Pitta dosha known as the Alochak Pitta. Then comes the importance of Ayurveda texts and the importance of eyes in Ayurvedic texts. Acharya Shushrut very clearly mentioned that out of all the sense organs, eyes are the foremost. And so, while mentioning about the sense organs, he said, Sarvendriyanam Nayanam Pradhanam. That is, eyes are the foremost amongst all the sense organs. And as quoted in Ashtanga Hridaya, sincere efforts should be made by every individual to preserve his or her vision till the last breath of life, because for an individual who is blind, day and night are the same, and this beautiful world is of no use to him, even if he possesses a lot of wealth. So if you have wealth, if you have everything in the world, if you have every pleasure in the world, but if you don't have eyes, if you don't have vision, it's all useless. Now, depending, as we always talk, that Ayurveda is a Tridosha based science. And so I would like to share a screen again with you. This is basically about the effects of various doshas on our eyes. Like if your Vata dosha is aggravated, basically disturbed, it will cause Netra Rukshita, or dryness of the eyes, frequent blinking, etc. If Pitta dosha is affected, you will have symptoms like photophobia, burning sensation, yellowish, discoloration, etc. While if your eyes are affected by Kapha dosha, then you may see watering from the eyes, lusterless eyes, oiliness in the eyes, stickiness in the eyes basically, and very slow movements. When two doshas affect the eyes together, they will cause continuous blinking. When all the three doshas affect the eyes, there will be bluish discoloration of the eyes, tiredness of the eyes, and sluggishness of the eyes. Like when we talk about doshas, there are people would talk about like, okay, these were the doshas. Now, how do you define or how do you see eyes during different various diseases? So during different types of diseases as well, the importance of eyes is very clear. Many people might be knowing that when you have jaundice or kamla, what we say in Ayurveda, your eyes becomes yellow, right? Similarly, in various diseases, while explaining various diseases of Ayurveda, various acharyas of Ayurveda have also mentioned about the signs and symptoms of various different diseases in the eyes. Like it has been said that when you have jwar or fever, you may have blurred vision. When you have prameh, there may be yellowish discoloration of the eyes. It is basically about a particular type of prameh, but still. When you have unmad, excuse me, when you have unmad, the eyes would become turbid. When you have aptantrak, there's a disease where you faint and you are senseless. Basically, you may say it is related to few types of epilepsy. Then the eyes become motionless. So these are basic things which Ayurveda has mentioned about eyes and various diseases. Now we come to specific causes. Now the basic thing you need to understand about Ayurveda here is that, just a second. What are the specific causes of eye diseases? Ayurveda says that when you follow certain routines, when you have certain lifestyle things, when you have certain types of food, or when you live a certain kind of lifestyle, you may have eye diseases. Now, what are these causes which can cause eye diseases? And it has been very beautifully kept in a shloka which says, Ushna abhitaptasya jalapraveshat दूरे क्षणात् स्वप्न विपर्ययच प्रसक्त संरोदन कोप शोक क्लेश अभिघात अतिमैथुनाच्च सुक्त अर्नाल अम्ल कुलथ माश निषेवणात् वेग विनिग्रहाच्च स्वेदो अथो धूम निषेवणाच्च छर्दिर विघात वमनाति योगात् वाष्प ग्रहात् सूक्ष्म निरीक्षणात् नेत्र vikaran janayanti dosha. So these were the specific causes of diseases. I will explain each cause of disease which we see with the modern context as well. The first one is Ushna Abhitaptasya Jalapraveshat. Now, Ushna Abhitaptasya Jalapraveshat basically meant like in the olden days when someone used to come tired out of like kings or people who were rich, came back to their homes or palaces after being exposed to heavy heat, they directly used to go to swimming pools or directly take bath. And that is where the immediate fluctuation of temperature plays a very important role, and it is said that this may cause eye diseases. In the present context also, when we come to our homes immediately after getting exposed to extreme heat of this summer, what we do is we immediately start on our ACs, and that is where our eyes are affected because of the immediate fluctuation of temperature. The second one is Dure Kshanat. Dure Kshanat means continuously seeing a thing which is out of your sight, trying to see a thing which is very far away. So it is basically about straining your eyes. Swapna Viparyaya. This is a very important factor basically for all the eye diseases, I would say. Swapna Viparyaya basically means disturbing your sleep habits. Sleeping during daytime, waking up during night time. According to Ayurveda, anyhow, sleeping during daytime or Diva Swapna is Varjya, but during extreme heat or extreme summers, you are still allowed to sleep for some time during the afternoon. So Swapna Viparyaya, like waking up at night, disturbing your sleep, having very less sleep, will also affect your eyes. Prasakta Sanrodana, continuously weeping or crying extremely will also affect your eyes. Then comes Kopa Shoka Klesh, getting extremely angry, getting very sad, or getting envious about things will also affect your eyes. Abhighat Atimaithunat. Abhighat means any injury or any trauma to your eyes will affect your vision. Atimaithunat, excessive sexual intercourse or excessive masturbation, may also lead to loss of ojas and shukra dhatu, which will again cause problems with your vision. Then Sukt Arnal Amla Kulaktha Mash Nishevanat. Basically, all the things which are heavy for your digestion, which are fermented, which are sour, will affect your eyes directly. Veg Vinigrahat, suppressing your natural urges or suppressing natural urges like vomiting, like crying, like stopping when you want to go to your washroom, you don't go to your washroom. All these things are going to affect your eyes because this is going to cause a disturbance of all the three doshas. Swed, excessive basically steam, because what we do is during these times when you have cough or cold, what you do is directly expose your face to steam, and this may also go to your eyes. So you have to take care while taking such steam. Take care of your eyes, at least hide your eyes between with wet cloth or something like that. Dhumne Shivana, basically getting exposed to smoke, smoke from fire or smoke from burning anything. Chhardir Vighat Vamanati Yogat. Like if you have excessive vomiting, or there's a therapeutic procedure in Ayurveda known as the Vamanakriya. When you have the Vaman Kriya, there is a chance of getting excessive of vomiting, and this may also harm your vision. Vashpagrahat, again smoke and sweat, swed, and Sukshma Nirikshanat. That means watching very minute objects without using proper material or proper things would also affect your eyes. Now, this is where I want you to look at the human eye. I'll make it a bit larger. Yes. So I have highlighted few parts which you must know, and that is the sclera, which is the white part of your eyes. The iris, that is the colored part, may it be brown, may it be blue or green or any other color. The third one is the pupil, that is the black portion at the center of your eyes. This is basically a hole. This is a aperture which can look directly inside your eyes. It is not a structure basically. This is the pupil. Then comes the cornea. Cornea is basically a bulged disc which lies just above your pupils and not anywhere else. Then there is always one confusion about conjunctiva. Conjunctiva is basically a layer above all these structures, not the cornea obviously. But other than the cornea, it surrounds the whole eye and it is very transparent thing. Okay, so these were basically the parts of the eyes. Now we move further. Various acharyas of Ayurveda, especially Acharya Shushruta, have mentioned about the exact measurements of various parts of the eyes. So you can imagine how they would have done this before 5,000 years, before 10,000 years. They used to know exactly about the measurements of different various parts of the eyes, and they gave this using your own thumb and your own fingers. You can know about this because there may be slight variation in each and everyone's eye dimensions, right? Acharya Shushruta has mentioned in various chapters about eye diseases and eyes, but especially he has talked about sense organs in about 26 chapters of Uttarasthana, giving prime importance to the eyes. Now, when we say about eye diseases, and when I'm talking so much about eye diseases and Ayurveda, according to Acharya Shushruta, he has mentioned about 76 diseases of the eyes. Acharya Vagbhat has mentioned about 94 eye diseases, and Acharya Charak has mentioned about 96 eye diseases. Almost all the modern eye diseases are covered under one or the other category of eye diseases, which is mentioned by Acharya Shushruta. So, you all may also be knowing that Acharya Shushruta is known as the father of surgery, and he has in extreme detail talked about cataract surgery in Shushruta Samhita as well. And so you can understand that without any scans, without any technologies, without any cameras, how were these acharyas knowing exactly about the eyes or such minute sense organs in the body? So it was really, we were blessed that we had such great acharyas as practitioners of Ayurveda and who taught us Ayurveda. One can clearly find mention of modern eye diseases like refractive eye diseases, blepharitis, conjunctivitis, ptosis, trichiasis, entropion, ectropion, pterygium, cataract, night blindness, glaucoma, and even tumors of the eyes in ancient Ayurvedic texts. Now, what are the useful procedures for eyes in Ayurveda? Now, you might be thinking that what procedure can be used in Ayurveda for treating eye diseases? Because at present, we are not allowed to use anesthesia or we are not allowed to do certain eye surgeries. But what are the other things? Along with oral medicines and Panchakarma therapies like Virechan, there are other certain specialized eye treatments in Ayurveda which can help to manage eye disorders. These procedures in Ayurveda are known as Netra Kriya Kalpa. These are the Netra Kriya Kalpas. Netra Kriya Kalpas are basically unique procedures practiced in Shalakya Tantra, which have a wide range of implications in the management of eye diseases. There are basically 7 types of Kriya Kalpas according to different acharyas. I have compiled all of them together. These are the Tarpana, Putpak, Aschottana, Parishek, Anjana, Pindi, and Bidalak. I'm going to explain about each of these Kriya Kalpa. I hope many of you might be knowing about this. This is the Tarpana Kriya Kalpa of Netra Chikitsa. As you can see, the lady is pouring ghee or substance like that into the eyes, and there's a border created surrounding the eyes. So this is basically the Akshi Tarpan. Akshi Tarpan is basically a procedure of pouring a medicated ghee or other substances which are good for the eyes by making a frame of black gram paste and which is firmly fixed over the eyes. It is basically used in visual disturbances, dry eyes, allergic conditions, diseases of the eyelids, structural deformities like squint, and even in conditions like RP, which is retinitis pigmentosa, to slow down the progress of disease. These Netra Kriya Kalpas basically are not only useful in treatable eye diseases or simple eye diseases like the visual disturbances in refractive errors, basically like myopia or metropia, but these are also used in genetic diseases and structural diseases where it is difficult to cure or which is impossible, almost impossible to cure, because like as I talked about RP or the retinitis pigmentosa, this is a disease where there is a continuous degradation of eye diseases, and so in this Ayurveda basically can help to slow down the progress of degradation. There are various medications for Tarpana. Basically Triflugrith is used, but on few occasions Vasa or fat of animals is basically used to treat conditions like night blindness, Vataj Timir, Krichon which is told by Acharya Vagbhata. And according to Acharya Vagbhata, Tarpan should be done daily in Vataj disease. Like if you have a patient who is suffering from Vataj eye disease and you give him a sitting of 5 days or 7 days, you have to do Tarpan on each day. If it is a Pittash disease, you have to do it on alternate days. Leave one day and then do the Tarpana. Tarpana has lot of benefits, and for Kaphaj diseases, after once in 3 days, you may say. Tarpana has a lot of benefits and would require a special webinar, as I've talked about it, because it's a huge topic and it has the capacity and potential to treat many of the diseases which are thought to be untreatable or which are thought to be difficult to manage. Then comes the procedure, second procedure, Puttapak Vidhi. Now, the procedure of Puttapak is very similar to the Tarpana treatment, but the only difference is the ingredients and the time limit as well for how long the medicine should be kept. In that also, the same frame against the eyes is made. And basically, there are three groups of medicines for preparing a Puttapaka. There is a juice extracted for Puttapaka, which is used to pour over the eyes in the frame of the eyes. The first group is animal meat, the second group is plant products, and the third group is liquids like quath or milk or water. What we do is a bolus is prepared we make laddus, right? So a similar bolus is prepared out of these three groups of medicines, and then leaves of plants like wat or ark are covered over it, and then a wet mud is smeared over this, and this ball of mud is kept into fire. And when the medicines are cooked properly, we remove the mud, remove the leaves, and squeeze. When you squeeze this, a certain type of juice is extracted, and this is used for medicine as Puttapak. Then comes the procedure Ashottana. Ashwatthana is basically nothing else but the modern eye drops, you may say. It is basically before it used the Ayurvedic people used to have shank, that is the conch shells, and through that they used to keep the eye drops, that is Ashwatthana. It is basically instilling few drops of medicines to the open site, and it is done above, like when you are lying in supine position, 2 angles above the eyes, from 2 angles above the eyes. It various procedure. Okay, for Ashwatthana, various things used are ghee, milk, water. Then there is a thing called we mix rose water with alum, and then we use this as eye drops as well for clear eyes. Then comes the procedure known as Parishek or Netradhara, and you can also combine it with Netra Prakshalan or eye wash. This is about washing the eyes, and many people use many different types of herbs for this. Triphala water is usually used. Here what I have shown is the Lodra and Amalki for use of Parishek. It is basically a decoction kind of a thing prepared, and then when it is cooled, it is used to wash the eyes. It is usually done before Tarpana or Puttapaka to clear the eyes or to clear any foreign body in the eyes. Then a very famous traditionally used thing is the Anjana or the collyrium, right? In Indian tradition, we all know that collyrium is widely used, and it is basically classified into Lekhan, Ropan and Prasadan as all the other Netra Kriya Kalpas. But Acharya Vagbhat has also mentioned about Snehana Anjana, which is the 4th type of Anjana. Usually we used Saviranjan and Rasanjan. Saviranjan is basically antimony sulfide, and Rasanjan basically is solid extract of Berberis seristata. Saviranjan type of collyrium is basically applied to the eyelashes every day, while Rasanjan is used once in 5 or 7 days or once in 5 or 8 nights. This Rasanjan is used very less because it is very Tikshna, that is very sharp, and it will create excessive of lacrimation and excessive of tears from the eyes. The eye vision is predominantly associated with Tejas Kund, as we have already talked. The Mahabhutare associated with eyes are Agni, so it is hot Tejas Kund. So we should help and we should prevent it from Kapha dosha, because Kapha dosha is cool in potency and will harm the Pitta or the Alochak Pitta in the eyes. So these Anjanas will help us do this. There is one very famous preparation of Ayurveda known as the Chandrodayavarti. This has been mentioned in the Sarangdhar Samhita, and it is very good for timir or external tumors, night blindness, etc. Anjan basically is used to remove or to dissolve or to dissociate the vitiated kapha and drains out the excessive secretion or the bad mala from the eyes. But person who is fasting or who has bath on the head or who has stayed awake whole night and person who has fever should not undergo the Anjana procedure. Then comes the last procedure, that is the Bidalak. Bidalak, as you can see, is a procedure of applying paste directly over the lids and the whole eye area. It is used for uveitis, conjunctivitis, hyperlacrimation, pain, itching, etc. So Bidalak is basically this. Then we have Pindi, which is a form of modified Bidalaka, because almost the herbs used for Bidalaka are also used for Pindi. And Pindi is basically about keeping the herbs, making into a paste and then applying on a cloth. So it is not directly applied into the eyes, but it is applied through a medium. And we use this usually in conditions like glaucoma, conjunctivitis, and many inflammatory eye conditions. Then there are certain other procedures, as I have told, like in Panchkarma also, we use Virechana, we use Nasya, as you can see. This is the nasal instillation of medicine, because the nasal instillation of medicine is thought to have direct effect on the brain, and thus, as the brain is the seat of all the sense organs, it works for all sense organs, but especially for the eyes, there are very different types of Nasya which are recommended. Like simple ghee drops or Anutel, there is a preparation in Ayurveda known as the Anutela, and you can use this as Pratimarsh Nasya. So you can do it daily after your bath or before your bath, and 1 to 2 drops in each nostril. And this has a very good effect on diseases like myopia or short-sightedness, far-sightedness, and it removes all the defects from the eyes. And according to Vagbhata or the Ashtang Sangrah, it is the treatment of choice for shushk akshipak, that is dry eyes basically, and suppuration of the eyes. Then there is procedure like into the Abhyang. Abhyang itself is also known as someone which is Drishti Prasadan, or which is very good for improving your eyesight. But especially the Padabhyang or the massage of your feet is known to be of excessive use into the diseases of eyes, and it is believed to improve your vision very well. Then there is Shiro Abhyanga, as I've said that the head is the place of all the sense organs. So Shiro Abhyanga can also be used. It acts as Drashti Prasadana. As I've already mentioned at the beginning of the Kriya Kalpas, that Panchkarma procedures like Virechan is also used for eye diseases, and it is used in the management, and specifically it is used in the management of diseases like Akshipaka, Kach, Timir, Abhishyand, etc. Bastikaram is also used in diseases like Adhimand, and we have already talked about the Nasya. Now, basically coming now after all this, what are the things we should take care for our beautiful eyes? So, avoiding exposure to water immediately after getting heated from exposure to sun, heat or fire, or as according to the modern context, don't directly change the temperature of your body, especially the eyes. So when you come out, try to remain in a buffer zone where the temperature is moderate, and then go to the air conditioned room. Avoiding practices of watching very far objects, basically also not very near for televisions and screens and all those things. Circumventing practices of observing very minute objects, escaping untimely sleeping habits, sleep on time, sleep enough, don't sleep excessively, don't sleep less, don't sleep during the daytimes when it is cold. You can sleep for like about 45 minutes or 1 hour in the afternoon during the afternoon time when the temperature is excessively hot, but that too not immediately after eating your lunch. avoidance of indulging in anger, sorrow, fear, exertion. So basically, controlling your emotions. Suppression of natural urges, like controlling the tears. Like when you feel to cry, you should cry. Everyone knows that and everyone says that. Then comes a few procedures like snan or bathing. What people do is, with the modern technologies and everything, with hot water easily available, people take bath with hot water. They take hot water showers, which is not good for your head, your hairs, and all your sense organs basically, and especially your eyes. So try to take showers or bath with cold or normal temperature water. Then there are a few techniques which are mentioned in Ayurveda, known as the Usha Jalpan, or early intake of water in the morning, and Nasa Jalpan. What you can do is drink. It has been said that Usha Jalpan basically can be done by mouth as well, and also through your nose. This basically helps to clean your GIT, it is believed, and it is also good for your vision. Then there is a very particular procedure in Ayurveda known as the Gandush Chikitsa. Gandush basically is filling, as you can see in the picture, it is about filling your mouth with water 2 to 4 times a day and keeping it like that. Don't move it. That is Gandush. When you move it, it is Kaval, which is a different procedure. But for your eyes, Gandush is said to be of very good use. Few herbs or medicines, if you would ask me, then Triphala. At night time, about 5 grams you can take. This will be for your clearing your bowels, but you have to remember one thing: don't ever take Triphala directly. You always have to take Triphala by mixing it with grit and honey, which should not be in equal quantity. So if you are taking half teaspoon of honey, take 1 teaspoon of grit. If you are taking 1 teaspoon of honey, take half teaspoon of grit. Okay, and vice versa basically. It is also very good for strengthening your eye diseases. And there are few yoga practices like Neti, Jal Neti, or Sutra Neti, where you clear your kapha dosha out of your body, which is also good for your eyes. Then there is a particular technique in Ayurveda, not Ayurveda, basically I can say the yoga kriya. It is the palming. What you do is just rub your hands, and with the warmth of your hand, try giving shake to the eyes. This is the only allowed shake or fermentation for the eyes that you have to remember according to Ayurveda. So palming is one of the techniques which can help you relieve your strain and stress of your eyes. Then there is a movement where you, in the air, you try making an 8 with both of your eyes. So you try to make a figure of 8 with both of your eyes. This is known as the swinging and shifting movements of your eyes. Then very famous procedure, the Trataka. Many people use candle for this, and as you can see in the image as well, that the lady cartoon character has used a candle there. But I would advise you using a ghee lamp. A ghee lamp would be really nice, because the light, the oxygen that is for the flame available for the ghee lamp is much better, and much better than any candle or any other frame. So in this, basically you stare at the flame because of the ghee eye for 2 to 3 minutes every day by concentrating on it. But it should not be very near. It should be about arm's distance, and this will also help you with your eyes. Then there is a yogasana, which is known very well for eye diseases. That is the Matsyasana, or the fish pose. As you can see in the image, this is the fish pose, and it is very good for refractive errors, myopia, hypermetropia, astigmatism, and other problems of the eyes. Then these are basically the Pathya, that is the foods and vegetables which you must consume and which you must avoid for your eyes or for the vision of your eyes. And I have posted this on the page of Ayulink Ayurveda hospitals, and I hope you can see this there. And thank you so much for your patient listening, and thanks once again to Ayulink Group of Webinars and Dr. Prerak Shah sir for giving me this opportunity. And I hope every one of you had a basic understanding just a little bit about the ophthalmology in Ayurveda, and now you know that Ayurveda can deal with eye diseases in much better way. Thank you so much. Thank you everyone. Namaste. If you have any questions, you can post to us on our Ayulink page, or you can even post on my page. Thank you so much. Namaste.